dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. We're just a few seconds shy of 5:32. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. We do have a pretty chilly morning on tap again today and have a few closings and delays that you can see on the bottom of your screen, but sounds like it's going to get better.
Yeah, definitely. You can also get those closings and delays on WYMT.com. But you are right. It is supposed to get warmer today, which a lot of people are going to be happy for because yesterday it was cold.
It was
cold.
especially
in the morning, it was just
bitter.
Yeah, really freezing and miserable. But there's some relief in sight. We saw the sun yesterday, Brandon, which helped to bring things like melt some stuff, but it really didn't warm us up. Today, different story.
Right, and here's the thing, though. That's why there are closings and delays, because there is still some black ice on some of those secondary roadways. I was downtown Whitesburg yesterday, close to the rec center, and ran across quite a bit of ice right there on the River Road. So it's still out there this morning. Anywhere water is across the road, it refroze again overnight. So just be careful. Give yourself some time. Not as cold, though. Let's take a look at the camera network as we start the day here over McKee this morning. A quiet night and a quiet morning there in Jackson County, Buffalo Mountain. The moon shining bright through the little bit of clouds we have across the region here in Perry County. Temperatures much warmer than yesterday. I know they're still cold, but it's still much warmer than those single digits we had yesterday, even below zero in some locations. Wise, the warm spot at 28, 16 in Moorhead, Ashland, Prestonsburg, Jackson, and Hazard. The cooler spots this morning. You factor in the wind chill, it still feels like single digits in some areas. So bundle up and give yourself time to warm those cars up this morning. The clouds actually starting to clear, as we just talked about them here a few minutes ago, from west to east. So mostly sunny skies on tap for us today. Nothing to scan on live pinpoint Doppler radar. The forecast 46 this afternoon under most sunny skies. Some folks, especially in the Cumberland Valley, could make a run at 50, but those rain chances return late tonight. 40 is your overnight low, but it actually happens just after midnight. Then temperatures start to go up as warmer air comes into play, so it could be even warmer, or about the same temperature that the daytime high is going to be tomorrow morning at this time. I'll have the full forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All righty, Brandon, we'll be right back with you. Another contender throws her hat into the ring for president. Senator Kamala Harris says she is running in 2020. The California Democrat says she plans to fight what she sees as the injustices of the Trump presidency. She made the announcement on Good Morning America. Harris's campaign released a brief video on social media as well. Her official campaign kickoff will take place next Sunday in Oakland, where she was born.
Meanwhile, back in the Bluegrass, we received some campaign information here. Kentucky's Secretary of State says she will not be making a run for governor this year. Allison Lundergan Grimes released a statement yesterday. In her statement, Grimes says she wants to focus on her family. She gave birth to a son last month. Grimes says she won't seek any statewide office in 2019, but says she looks forward to returning to public service in the future.
In November, House Minority Leader Ronkie Atkins entered the governor's race. He is running on strong ties to Eastern Kentucky, a belief that Kentucky has better days ahead, and a feeling he is able to get Republican votes if he makes it past May 21st. Last night, an episode of Issues and Answers aired with Atkins. You can catch the entire version on our website over at WYMT.com. We are now 32 days into the partial government shutdown, and there is still no end in sight.
Yesterday, the president ignored questions about the ongoing shutdown at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. But he did stay active on social media, telling Democrats to, quote, stop playing games and give America the security it deserves. Democrats have rejected the president's latest proposal, 3 years of legal status for some refugees and immigrants brought here by undocumented parents in exchange for $5.7 billion in wall funding. The Senate is expected to vote on the president's plan this week. Meanwhile, House Democrats will vote on their own legislation to reopen the government without any wall funding.
He is now holding the American people hostage over a vanity project that he calls a wall.
About 800,000 other federal workers face a second missed paycheck this week. Many are relying on donations and food banks to survive.
The Transportation Security Administration, OTTSA, says one of the 10 of its officers called out of work Sunday as the shutdown continues. That is 10% of unscheduled absences compared to the 3.1% on the same date a year ago. The TSA said, quote, many employees are reporting that they are not able to work due to financial limitations.
That's why some federal workers say they are being forced to find new jobs. In Oklahoma, Caleb McCoy has started driving for Uber. He's a hydraulic technician for the U.S. Geological Survey. However, he's been furloughed since December 22nd and hasn't had a paycheck since the 28th.
I'd heard of Uber. I'd kind of looked at it from time to time as a potential job opportunity I could use to make, some side money.
Now, here in eastern Kentucky, many are doing what they can to help furloughed workers. With a federal prison in the county, owners of the Martin County IGA hope to alleviate some of the added stress. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher explains how.
Around 60 years ago, Judith Ousley's father opened what locals call the supermarket in Inez.
My dad started this business in 1959 because there wasn't a grocery store here.
He used the grocery store to help the community.
And we're a family. We've always been here, and we've always tried to help in cases of emergency and stuff, and this is an emergency.
Now, the name has changed, and although her father died in 2015, Ousley says they remain dedicated.
And decided that the least we could do was let the members of our community set them up with a charge account until they go back to work and get a paycheck.
Lasting more than 4 weeks now, the partial government shutdown is keeping some federal employees from being paid. Families like Joshua Crumbs face tough times with those missing checks.
Yeah, my mom works out there at the prison.
He says he's thankful to work for such a giving business.
It helps a lot. It helps out tremendously to be able to get our groceries.
Giving back to a community.
We just want to return the favor, and that's what he wants us to do, is help our neighbors, and that's what we're trying to do.
After decades of loyalty. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Helping those who need to be helped. Now, both the Inez and Warfield IGAs are providing the charge accounts. If you would like to apply, we have information on how to do so over at WYMT.com.
Now, the grocery store is not the only business helping out. The Martin County Utility Board is holding accounts of any federal prison workers who are affected by the shutdown. This means as long as you are not receiving your regularly scheduled paychecks, you can wait and pay you can wait until you get paid to pay your bill. There, I finally spit it out. Board Chairman Jimmy Kerr says they understand the struggles many families are facing during this time.
It's the right thing to do. I mean, these guys are still having to go, the guys that work at the federal penitentiary are having to go to work every day and aren't getting paid when it comes time for payday. So that can't be easy.
If you are a federal employee and would like to place a hold on your account, bring your photo ID and federal employee ID to their billing office.
New this morning, a Kentucky lawmaker has proposed a bill to limit the penalties for marijuana possession. Republican Senator Jimmy Higdon introduced Senate Bill 82. The bill would make possession a prepayable non-criminal fine. Violators would face a $100 fine and 15 hours of community service. Community service would double along with the $250 fine for possession on school property.
Well, there is a push for hate crime legislation in Indiana. That is one of the 5 states without any sort of legislation in that area. The FBI reports hate crimes have increased greatly during the past few years. That is why supporters say it is important to get these laws on the books. The state's governor, Eric Holcomb, says he supports the hate crime legislation himself.
In Virginia now, a bill that would have gradually increased minimum wage was denied by the state Senate. The vote for Senate Bill 1200 was split along party lines. It would have mandated the minimum wage to increase from $7.25 an hour to $15 an hour by 2021.
In Buchanan County, Virginia now, police say an Appalachian School of Law student barricaded himself inside of a house near the school. Sheriff Ray Foster says they responded to a call about a gunshot in the area. That's where they found a man who threatened to harm himself or others who approached him. A shot was fired inside of the house, but no one was injured. Police were on scene for a few hours. Foster says they were able to talk the student into coming out of the house. He was taken to a mental health facility for evaluation. His name has not been released, and we are told no charges are pending at this time.
A woman is in jail after Ashland police say she hit a car with a family inside while driving a stolen pizza delivery car Sunday. Police say Danita Ambergy was being treated for a possible drug overdose when she left the hospital against medical advice. As she was leaving, she allegedly got in the pizza delivery car and took off, but not before assaulting an EMT who tried to stop her. Police say they were able to find Ambergy in the stolen car and tried to pull her over. They say that's when she hit another car with the family inside. She eventually backed into a police cruiser. That's when officers were able to arrest her.
Straight ahead on Mountain News this morning, yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We will take a look at how people in the Bluegrass celebrated his life and legacy.
When it comes to baking, you don't need 1,000 recipes, just a few really good basic ones, like the one we're making today.
Do you want to build a snowman? Well, you might get your chance a little later this week. I'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.